Hi, thanks for joining me. I have just recently started making these junk journal charms. I'm going to put some in my Etsy shop, and I am having so much fun. And it's such a good way to use your stash. My gosh, you guys. Let me show you some that I've made. Okay. All right. There's this one. See, you just tie a bunch of things on the strings. It is the easiest, and I am having so much fun. There's that one. And this one. Some of them have kind of the same things on them. I just grabbed a bunch of stuff, before I started, and I knew I was making 4, so in a lot of cases when I was pulling things out of my containers, I just grabbed 4 of each. But so what you do is you get you a playing card, and I happen to have these peanuts, and I laminated it and then punched a hole in the top, and then you just put them in your journal or your junk. It can be a regular journal or a junk journal or a planner, whatever you want, and then see, it just drapes over like that, and it just looks so cute hanging on whatever journal or planner you're using. And then I left some ends dangly. If you don't like the ends that long, you can cut them shorter, but I think they look kind of cute like that. But oh my gosh, it's my new addiction. So I thought it would be fun if we made one together so I could show you guys how easy this is. So I laminated my playing card, punched my hole, and this is the real thin hemp cord. I think it's hemp. Anyway, it's this really thin, it almost looks like twine, but it's thick and it kind of has a coating on it, but you just get it at Hobby Lobby down in the jewelry section. And I just got the natural color. So I cut 2 pieces that were each 24 inches, and that seems to be enough to tie all the knots plus have a little bit hanging, okay? So to begin with, what you want to do is you want to take each of these strips and you want to put a knot. That way your bead won't go all the way to the end, right up next to your playing card. So just tie a knot. And it doesn't matter how far down it goes. You can just kind of direct it with your finger. But see, I'm just putting a knot. And it'll get easier to tie your knots as your cord gets shorter, okay? All right. I've got Price is Right is on in the other room so I can hear it. I turned it down, but I did have my TV on in here in my craft room, but I definitely turned that off while we make this. Okay, I've got one more here to put my knot in. Okay. And I didn't even come close to pulling stuff out of my huge bead and charm collection. I just grabbed a few containers and thought, okay, this will be enough to get started. So here's my charms and my cute things I'm going to use. I don't want to put those here at the first because this is going to be the part that kind of starts to hang down over the top. So I like to start with some beads. So I just take each string, and this one's kind of got a little thing hanging. It might still go through the hole. It's just going to depend how big the hole is in the bead. So I'm just going to grab this bead. You guys, the fun part about these, and I don't know if that's going to go through. The fun part about making these is there's no right or wrong way. No matter what you put on next and how far you tie your knots apart, it makes each one so individual. That is kind of thick, so it's not going to go through. Let's try this star here. And you just kind of have to play around and see what's going to fit on your string. Some strings you'll find are a little bit smaller, and then some have a spot that's a little bit larger. Anyway, you just tie your knot. And if you don't want to put these on a playing card, you could tie them onto a paper clip. I've seen that work as well. But with a paper clip, what are you going to clip it to? The paper inside? Because your paper's going to be flimsy. So that's why I like this idea of a playing card, because I feel like it will stay better. See, there's that one. Okay, now I'm going to stay on this same one. I have these cute stripe beads. Sometimes I put 3 beads, sometimes I put 2, sometimes I put 1. If I can give you any advice, it would be to, as you're stringing your things, try and keep your color variations going. So for example, you know, if I'm on one string, I don't want to have like all of the same colors on one string. I try and just mix everything so that there's no indefinite pattern of color. And I just think it makes it turn out cuter that way too. If you just have all your colors mixed up instead of following a pattern. That's a cute bead, huh? I had that in my stash. I've got so many beads, you guys would die. Beads and charms. My poor kids, someday when I'm gone, I don't know what they're going to do with all my crafts. Do you guys ever think that to yourself? Do you think, what is my family going to do with all my crafts when I'm gone? And I know that's a morbid thought, but I'm 66 and I lost my mom about 5 years ago. She was only 73. And as you get older, you'll find yourself thinking about what's going to happen to me. Am I going to get put in a nursing home, which is my worst fear on the face of the earth. Oh, I didn't even put a bead on there and I tied a knot. Yeah, that's my big fear because my mom was put in one with dementia, and I don't know. I just see, once you go in one of those places, I see how downhill you go so fast. And maybe that's a good thing, so you don't have to be in one of those places very long, but I don't know. I would just rather get old and die at home than be put in one of those places. And I have 2 boys, and they're not going to know how to take care of me. I feel like girls are more nurturing and better at making those kind of decisions, you know? I don't know. Anyway, I just find myself lately thinking, what are they going to do with all my crafts? Are they going to donate them? Are they going to try and sell them? Anyway, I didn't mean to get on a negative thought pattern here, but anyway, if you're a crafter, we all have huge stashes, I think. Sometimes I go through it, and like right now, I went through all my paper pads, and I have a big stack of paper pads that I want to put on Facebook Marketplace so I can sell those. I think some of the stuff you have to sell locally because the shipping would cost a fortune if you sold it to somebody far away. But see how I'm just starting each, I'm just putting a few beads on each one just to kind of get them going. And then once I get a few beads on, then I can start putting on some of my cute charms. And I like to switch it up. So here I've got like some clear ones with color in the middle. Here I've got a solid. Here I've got a long skinny. And then I've got this tray here. So now I'm going to put some of these. And you can kind of see, okay, what colors do I not have yet? So see all these? So I want to say, let's see, we probably need a pink. And how about a bright yellow? And I'm eyeballing the orange. I also think we need red. So I'm just going to put 3 of those, okay? So I've been talking while I've been tying. You can just decide. So see, these reach the knot. Now you can decide, do you want to put your knot right next to it? Do you want to leave a little space? It just really doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. And you just kind of guide how far your knot goes down with your finger. See right here, you use your thumb while you're pulling on this to push how far down you want to go. And then once you've got it, you just pull it. And if you have a bead or something that's got a bigger hole, then you cannot tie your knot as tight, or you can actually do a double knot to make it bigger so that the bead doesn't slip over it, okay? All right, so here I feel like we need red, and I'm going to use some of these because they're like the glassy look. So it gives, you know, we have different textures. And if I can see the hole here, I have to peek over the top of my glasses to see the hole on some of these, because I can't see the hole with my glasses. So that bead's kind of got some red on it, some red and yellow. And this one, these are all hooked together. I'm not, oh, well, not all of them are, but some of them are. I don't know what happened there, but they're hooked together. And okay, and then let's see, what other color are we needing? How about a light pink? And, you know, I could even go this light pink. I don't have to stick to all glass together. You can just mix and match. You can do whatever you want. It's just so fun. And this is my 4th one that I've made, and I've been in here in my craft room since about 10 o'clock, and it's noon now. So it's taken me a couple hours. What takes you the longest is just gathering all your stuff that you want to put on them, you know. Okay, let's see here. And I'm in Utah, and it has been raining so hard this morning. And we are just kind of having a snow drought this year. It's been really awful. Usually we have a lot of snow in the mountains, and we've only had like one snowstorm here down on where people live. And it was all melted by about 2 days later. So I'm hoping that since we're getting rain, I'm trying to find the hole here, you guys. I'm hoping that since we're getting rain today, that it's snowing in the mountains, and I can't get this to go in that hole. So I'm just going to get one of these dark pink ones here and put that on. But if we don't start getting some snow, we are going to have a terrible drought. And if I was a skier, you know, Utah's known for its wonderful snow for skiers. People come all over the world to ski here. I bet the resorts are losing so much money. And if I was a local and I bought a season pass, I would be devastated because, like my son, they go snowboarding. They've only been twice because the snow just hasn't been, there hasn't been enough, and it hasn't been good. So it's just scary. Okay, so now I want to put on a few charms. So let's go, look at this cute duck. I got these, I think, at Hobby Lobby. And then they already had a hole in the top, so I just poured in some glue and then put in a screw, hook screw. And I'm just going to put that on there, and then I'm just going to leave a little bit of space. I think that duck's my favorite one. The duck, and then I'll show you my other favorite one. And do you like my nails? Cherries. Aren't they cute? My nail girl is so good. She does such a good job. I always get compliments on my nails. And I usually just look on Pinterest and say, can you do this? And she's like, yeah. She can do anything. See, isn't that duck adorable? And then this balloon dog is my other favorite. And then these little peeps, I got these on either AliExpress or Temu. And they were actually earrings, so I just cut off the earring part. And this is a little straight thing. I think I'm going to cut that off, though. Let's see if I can get my... I'm going to cut that off just because I don't want it poking anybody. Let's see here. I think these little peeps are darling. I love peeps. Okay, so let's put... I think, yeah, we can put this peep right there. That'll be cute. So just thread it through the hole, maybe. See, this cord's a little thick on the end, and so there we go. It was just a little bit tricky to get on there. And if you have cabochons, you can glue one of those bails on, you know, that have the hole in them to turn it into a charm. Or you can use those screw hooks if it's possible to get it onto your whatever you're wanting to put it on. That's probably going to turn, but sometimes maybe it will show. Okay, and then here, let's put this cute little, what do you call these? Clog? I want to call it a clog, but it's not a clog. That was what they was called when I was growing up. I don't know. I don't know what they call them now. Seems like things change names as things progress, you know. Like I used to call a book bag, what I used to call a book bag is now called a backpack. So things just kind of have a way of changing names. See, this needs, in my opinion, more beads before I start putting things on it. But let's do this cute candy bead. And it's got kind of a big hole, so I'll see how that goes. But see, that knot isn't super tight, so it's going to hold. So if I think this next knot is not going to be big enough to hold it without moving to the next spot, then I'll do a double. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah. So today's my day off. I work at the piano store. I sell pianos. And I also teach piano. So I'm teaching a few lessons tonight because Thursday I'm judging a piano competition. So I had to move my Thursday piano students to tonight. And then after I get done teaching, me and my two friends, we're going to the movie. We're going to see, is it Wuthering Heights? I think that's what it's called. I love going to the movie, and we always get the chairs that are lounge chairs, and they're so comfy, and we take a blanket because it's usually cold in the theater. Okay, now I think I'll put on this little tassel. And after I've put on a few charm-like things, then I do more beads again. But see how you can just adjust where your knots are? See, I feel like that one's too much space. So I'm going to loosen that. This is where nails come in handy. I'm going to tighten that up a little bit. Okay, so see, I made the knot closer. And what now? Let's see. I'm going to put this cute little silver teddy bear on there. And, you know, you don't worry about if your charms are going to always face the right direction or not. You just don't even need to worry about that. Because, you know, as much as these are going to move around, it's just not going to matter when you put it on your book. All right. Okay, cute. And then I just try and I spread them out as I go so I can see, you know, so I can make them at kind of all the same length. And you could stop here, but I like to make them longer. So I'm going to keep adding. And now I think I'm going to add, let's see, I'm going to put on this orange heart. Let's see, I think I have to go down through the top so that it faces. Because you figure when this flops over, you want you want the heart to be straight up and down. Okay, so from here, when you put it on, you just want to make sure that when your string drapes over your book, that your heart is going to be facing the right direction so that it's not upside down. Okay, and let's see. Let's do, probably want to do some beads now, and maybe some of these little skinny ones. maybe if I can get this cord. This cord piece seems to be a little thicker than some of the others. And then you got my blind, can't see. Okay, yeah, see that went in. And now here's a black one. Let's do black and white. We need some color. And I've tried to put a bell on each one as well. And I need another bell. See, that one's not going to go in. So what have I got? I've got that blue. Maybe if I cut this cord, I can get it to go on that, because I just feel like I need some black. Yeah, I just don't know if that's going to go in. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry if I go out of frame. I'm trying not to, but sometimes when you're talking and working, you kind of forget. See, I don't know. Oh, okay. It was kind of thick there, so I just had to push that. And I think I'll do one more because I have two here, and then I have one, so I think I want three. And what color should I go? Let's do like this yellow. This is yellow and white. I can't remember where I got this thing of beads. Probably either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I got to cut this again. You just want to be careful that you don't have to cut too much, because you want to leave enough for your tails. Okay, there's that. And it's still raining. I can hear it. I love the rain though. I love the rain, and I love the snow when you get to stay home and you don't have to go out in it, and it's just cozy. And then I turn on my little gas fireplace, and my dogs are here. I got 3 little dogs, and one of them's asleep by my feet right now, my little Yorkie. The other 2 are on the couch. Okay, this one it's time for this one. I'm just not sure that rabbit is ever going to show. If you had to, you could put a jump ring like on this to make it a little bit longer. I'll just kind of see how it looks when I drape it around the book and see what I think about it. But yeah, you can always add a jump ring. I don't know if this is going to go in here either. There we go. Well, maybe. No. Sometimes, if you notice too, your hole doesn't go all the way through things. Let's do this cute heart here. I think I got to go through the top. Yeah, see, this string is getting really messed up. I'm going to have to cut that again. But it's quite a long string, so I think I'll be okay. It's just really thick in this one spot. Okay, is that going to be the right direction? Yep. And you know what? To be different, maybe I'll put, where that's got yellow, I think I'll put a bright yellow bead at the base of that heart. I think that'll be cute. Boy, this is really thick right there. But see, isn't that cute? And then tie a knot. Oh my gosh, come on. Get through there. All right. And then decide where I want my knot. Okay. So see, that's looking good so far. Then I just always hold it up, and so I can kind of keep them going so that they're even. Okay. And let's see. Now, on this one, I'm going to put my little love bug balloon dog. Oh my gosh, I just love these. They're so freaking cute. And I got these off Temu, I think. Okay. Yeah, that little duck though. Oh my gosh, I love that duck. I like these too. I got these are bigger, and I got those at Hobby Lobby not too long ago. Okay, and then now let's put, I got these, I think I got these at Hobby Lobby too. Either Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Aren't those cute? And they just come 3 to a strand. And they've got the little star on the end. And I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put that knot a little bit closer. Okay, cute. And I still need to go a little longer. I can just tell by looking. You'll just kind of get used to it when you start making them. You can just kind of tell how long you want them to be. This one needs some more. So it's probably about time to put some beads on there. Let's see, what do I have? Let's go with this one. Well, actually, I need some real color on that one. So let's do red and this cute pink. And these square beads are quite big on the end, so I may have to do a double knot there to hold that one in place. Yeah, see, that goes right through. So I'm going to double knot that. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it's raining pretty good out there. Okay. And then here, let's do, let's see. Let's do this little drink charm. That's cute. Okay. Okay, and then I'll just get one of these others that I've made and kind of judge the length to see how much more I need. See, can you see? So like, I can probably go one more. Well, the duck one, that's good right there. That one's good. And this one, let's see. It's hard to tell which one is which. There we go. Okay. I definitely need more on this one. And so I need more on this one and the red one, I think. Yeah. One of them I put a button and I just looped it through the buttonholes. That was fun. A couple of them I tied on these pop can tops. That was cute too. Okay, now I forgot which ones I said I needed. I can tell though. Oh, it's this one and this one. Okay, so I'm going to scoot those out of the way here and then see what I'm left with here. Here's a cute little, looks like a little teddy bear with his hat on, with his night hat on. He's ready for bed. We'll put him. Okay, come on. Okay. And this one, let's see, I'll put this cute bow charm. That's cute. And then I'll just hold everything up and see if it's done or if I need to add more length. Okay. I can tell that by looking, that's about it. Yeah. Well, let's see. Okay, see this one, how it, can you see on there how, oh, let me lay it down. This one doesn't have as much as these, so I'm just going to put one more thing on this one. And what do I want to put on there? Maybe, I think I'll get another one of these candy beads. And what color do I want? I'm going to go with, Actually, I'm going to go with this round purple bead. This is cute to add some more color there. Yeah, and then I think I'll just add another candy bead with it. This is a blue one. I love these. They're so cute. Okay, and that's going to do it. Now, if you want, you could, once you decide your length on your tails, you could tie knots on the ends. I'm not going to do that, but you could. It's an idea. Okay, so see, I think that's good. Now, for the tails, you can just kind of see what you think. You could leave it how it is and have that big long tail, but I personally think that's a little too long. So then I just hold it up and I just kind of eyeball it and then cut them off to where they look kind of even. I don't measure them, but I just eyeball it, and I think that's plenty. So let me get out of the way. Let me get this string out of the way, and then I'll lay this down so you can see it. And let's get we'll get my little journal out here. Okay, so we're gonna open this and put it in there, and then drape everything over the top. See? See how cute? And my little peep guy, he's struggling, but if you turn him, he shows. This little guy. But, you know, it's not going to be perfect, just like a charm dangle. You can't always have all your charms facing the same direction, you know. But that's cute. I love it. Super cute. So I hope I inspired you today to make some of these. Like I said, they're so fun, and they're such a great way to use up your stash. And I will be putting some in my Etsy shop. So thanks so much for watching. If you have not subscribed, I'd love you to, and I'd also like it if you would push the like, and I would love it if you would even comment and tell me what you think about these. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye for now.